Good morning, Paleo Keepers, and welcome back. Today we're on Prehistoric Kingdom on Newa Park, and we're going to be building an enclosure for the Camarasaurus. Now, my idea behind it was I really wanted a large part of it to be this sort of supported, almost wall-like walkway that's sort of like around the enclosure, and taking some slight inspirations from a few elephant enclosures I've been to, where they have like a mixture of layers, where they've got a raised path which also works as a wall, and it also leads into the house itself. So we're going to be building a house for the Camarasauruses on the end of this path, and then we'll be using the standard wood style fencing that we've been using for the rest of the park on the other sectors. And as well, I want to make like a swimming pool area, like you can see what I'm doing right now. This is just because I see like in a lot of large animal pools, they actually have these like really big concrete structures full of water, and I thought that'd be brilliant. I feel like it'll add like an interesting look to the enclosure, very man-made aspect, rather than just having like a pond in the middle. And it's almost like a washstone for them, which should also be easy for them to clean. Now, I wasn't going to do a concrete floor base. I used a sandy base. One, because I like the look of it, and two, it depends on like the angle as well that you look at the water, if you can actually see the structures you build under the water. It's a little bit of a glitch. Obviously this game is still being built right now, so it's not something I'm really bothered about. You go under the water, you can see all of that anyway, so it doesn't bother me at the slightest. But that's the idea. The theming I was going for, it was like a large animal pool for them to get themselves clean. Anyway, for the house, I kind of still wanted to keep like a slight wooden structure to it so it fits in with the rest of the park, but then also wanted to make it slightly modern as well. So I had some like loads of glass, adds loads of natural light into the building. We have a stone base for like strength, and then we use this, I think it's called wooden panel. I can't really remember, but I really do like the look of this roof type. I use it in a lot of my builds because honestly I enjoy the look of it. And then obviously we go into concrete the floor, make it so it's not just dirt and it fits in with the rest of the building. And we're also going to be making a walkway in there so the guests can come in there and they can have a look at them if they're inside the shelter. And as well, underneath that is going to be a staff zone. It's how the staff are going to get into the enclosure, because I'll use a working gate on this building so my zookeepers can get into this bit, so they can, that's their main access. On the actual like fence itself, that'll be around the enclosure, there will be like a gate. Like I'm going to use the original gates that I have on other enclosures, but obviously I'm going to have to make it taller, so that's something I'm going to have to do, but we'll get to that eventually. Right now I'll just keep adding like loads of different features and things to the building to try and make it look realistic rather than just being a flat cube, because I know sometimes some of my builds feel a lot less realistic and very cubey, so I try and add like features that make it more 3D. As well, we plaster the inside of walls, as you can see there, and this bit here I feel like looks like a really cool roller. Like that particular metal structure, it kind of looks like it's a roll that's been rolled up, so that is the door into that building. And then we'll just use these bars for obviously the keeper safety, and that's what eventually where I end up adding the gate. Now I'm going to be adding a load of binoculars on here to actually encourage guests to come up this bit to see the Camarasaurus, and I thought, you know what, it's sunny, it's hot, we'll give them a bit of shade as well. And I end up really enjoying the overall look of the building as well, as well as the viewing area. It just it looks very modern, looks very interesting. It still somewhat fits in with the rest of the vibe that I'm going for this park, which I'm happy about. As well, we go back to the building and I decide to actually plaster the ceiling so it looks kind of cool and fits in with the rest of the build, and then add a load of lights to make sure it's nice and bright. And yeah, I really enjoyed making this building. I feel like this building is probably my favorite I've ever made. It's I don't know why, I just kept looking at it after I finished it. I was like, I'm really happy with this build. I feel like I could do more on the outside. I make it sort of rocky, grassy. We do this little plant area in the middle, and like in a few enclosures with big animals, the forested areas have these like protective fences around them for multiple reasons. One, to protect the trees themselves, and two, to protect the animals from hurting themselves in those trees, because obviously cuts and scrapes can get infected, and then you've got to go get a vet in, and etc, etc. It's a lot of work that you can sort of like avoid from happening by just fencing it off so they don't go into that area. Obviously in the game it doesn't matter too much, but I like adding a wee bit of realism to my builds. It just adds that extra line of storytelling. And honestly, the Camarasaurus look absolutely beautiful in this enclosure. And honestly, it makes me, I can't wait to get the new sauropods that they'll be adding to the game. And I'm kind of thinking, would I swap out these creatures, maybe? Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I really do like them. I feel like they very much well fit into this enclosure. But I definitely will be making something very similar to what I want to do with it. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know I've been a little bit rambly today, and this will be very cut up, the voice over for it. My asthma's not so great today, and I was quite surprised I've managed to talk this much. But anyways, thank you for watching. I'll let you enjoy these last few clips. Until next time, I'll see you later.